afternoon, everyone. I'd like to welcome my county executive, Rob Astorino, who's from Westchester County. Rob Astorino has announced his candidacy for the gubernatorial race against Governor Cuomo. County Executive Astorino has 2 children currently in the public school system, so he's very well aware of the Common Core. And he's also aware of those Common Core workshops that the parents are invited to. And I'd like to introduce to you County Executive Rob Astorino. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you. It is great to be here. This is grassroots action at its best. And I really love that you're here. So I am the county executive in Westchester. I do happen to be running for governor. And first and foremost, though, I am here as a parent. I have a 5th grader, a 3rd grader, and a little one who's in pre-K. And I can tell you as a parent, and my wife is a special ed teacher, as a parent, we are dealing with Common Core every day in all its glory. And so when I say to you, I understand your frustrations, it's because I and my wife are living them every day. And I can tell you that my son has been sick the last couple days because he is extraordinarily stressed out by next week's tests. And same thing with my daughter. So I know exactly what many of the kids are going through and you as parents are going through. They don't like it, my kids. My wife doesn't like it because she's a teacher.
So refuse it!
Stay tuned. It's not because our kids, as Arnie Duncan said, aren't as brilliant as we thought, which I just love that quote. We don't coddle our kids. We want the best for our kids, and you want high academic standards for your kids, the highest. We want a rigorous curriculum and instruction, but we don't want them to be part of some grand experiment that might be hurting them and not helping them. And look around. Believe me, you are not alone. It is happening in auditoriums around the state, on blogs, in social media. People are talking about this and have been. And I've been talking about it and dealing with this since September, even when I was running for county executive in re-election. But people were coming up to me and asking me about this. Do you know about Common Core? I said, yes, I know about Common Core. I'm a parent. So we've been dealing with this. And I tell you, since I've become governor, we have received... No, that was... Well, I'll tell you one thing. If I actually get to say that, and we can say that next year, I promise you, next March, I will be here in this school to say how we're strengthening Common Core. Since becoming a candidate for governor, I have received more emails, letters, yes letters, and phone calls about Common Core than probably any other topic. And I would say, on balance, probably 95% or more have been opposed. I would probably say 99% of those have been opposed to Common Core. And so you know where I stand as a father. As a candidate for governor, here's what I think. Common Core is going to be, already is, but will be way too expensive. When the federal money runs out, and it will shortly, hold on to your wallets. This is going to be the mother of all unfunded mandates to come down the road. So be ready for this one. Property taxes are going to have to go through the roof to comply with the standards of Common Core. It is set and controlled at the federal level. Do not listen to those who tell you that's not true. And I can tell you, I have spent 4 years as county executive fighting the housing and urban development, federal government, to try to dismantle local government in Westchester County and local property rights in Westchester County at the federal level. So I can tell you I am very familiar with the overreach from the federal government and how this will happen too. Common Core may in fact be dumbing down our expectations of our kids, not raising them. Not one K-12 teacher in the nation was involved in writing these standards. That should tell you something. So this is the grand experiment. This is the grand experiment. And when asked about Cuomo's Common Core and whether it would work, Bill Gates, the chief financier behind these Common Cores, basically said that we'll know in 10 years whether this experiment works or not. Well, we've had independent studies in this country say that it won't work and that it will not improve national test scores. So we're going to wait 10 years to put a generation of kids through a failed experiment? For what? I don't think we need to do that. And basically, our children are not lab mice in this grand experiment. Certainly not mine. But you only have to look at two people to understand who knows really about Common Core and the effects. Bill Gates, whose children go to a private school that are not aligned with Common Core, and John King, the Education Commissioner of New York, whose kids are in a non-Common Core school as well. You can't make this stuff up. Look, I will tell you why I call it Cuomo's Common Core. First of all, he embraced it. He called it, quote, state-of-the-art. New York was only one of 2 states that fast-tracked this. He's funded it, he's taken money for it, and from its chief architects and supporters, it is Cuomo's Common Core. Now, the governor is doing a tap dance because while supporting it, now he's trying to point fingers, and in the budget that was, I guess, finalized this morning in Albany, he's trying to massage a message that Cuomo's Common Core has been dealt with. It has not. It has not. Because even if the implementation itself is worked out, you're still left with Common Core.
Right.
So don't lose sight of that at all. He has done nothing. That's not leadership when he says he has no control over this. Look to Indiana, where the governor of Indiana led the way, became the first state to scrap Common Core. So I say this to you today. Spread the word. Help elect me governor of New York, and we will get rid of Common Core. We will replace it with high standards, rigorous curriculum, teaching appropriate testing, and all set and controlled at the local level. That's what education should be about. Teachers, principals, and parents making the gold standard for education in New York. We can do this. We do not have to settle for Cuomo's Common Core. We do not have to settle for our students and our kids being experiments and being little mini robots in this 10-year experiment. We can do much better. So help me. Follow me on Facebook. Be part of my Twitter. Tweet back to me. And sign up on robastorino.com. That's the way we're going to be able to communicate. That's the way we're going to get our message all across New York. And it can happen, folks. Everywhere I go. I was in Utica last weekend. I was in Ontario County, which is far west. Everywhere I go, people are talking about this. You are not alone. Believe me when I tell you, you are not alone. So keep this momentum going. And I'll leave you with one last thing. Governor Cuomo's average contribution is around $27,000. $27,000. For a .00, well, I see it's Common Core math, I'm not sure. I think it's 0.01% of that would be like 27 bucks. You can chip into our campaign in big ways or small. That's the way we're going to get this message out. So help us start spreading the news here in Suffolk County and let it spread like wildfire all the way up to Buffalo and to Lake Placid and everywhere in between. We can do this, and I'm on your side. Help me. Thank you very much. Enjoy the day.
The future of hope, Rob Astorino.